seen John Downes on this show several times. He's a well-known journalist, a News Talk 1010 every night, friendly fire. He's an old friend and a good guy. And let's get straight to it, because I know this story broke last night. It's a big story now all over the place. You've told it many times. In a couple of minutes, sum up what happened to you last January.
I was coming home from a friend's house with my girlfriend. We had been out for dinner, went back to his house and had some drinks, and we were taking the streetcar back home. I saw a guy lying on the sidewalk in a pool of blood, and it was about 2:15, and as I normally would in a situation like that, I said, I'll see you at home. Jumped off the streetcar, took out my camera, and started taking a couple pictures. And it wasn't more than a few seconds before a firefighter at the scene said, get lost. Stop taking pictures. And
Isn't that right to say that?
I'm allowed to take pictures.
Yeah.
Not just because I'm a member of the media. At that point, I didn't identify myself as a member of the media. I said, I'm entitled to take pictures. I'm not interfering with the scene. Again, he said, get lost. At that point, I said, I am actually with the media. And he threatened to call the police over, to which I said, okay, that's fine. I'll talk to them.
Yeah.
Because he was being unreasonable. Before I knew it, he had grabbed or knocked my phone out of my hand. It's on the street, and I'm going to pick it up. And as I go to pick it up, I hear him call police over. Within a couple seconds, I'm face down on the concrete, my hands being cuffed behind my back.
So you're not a big guy.
Not huge.
No, and I've always known you as quite a gentle person. The cop has pushed you to the ground, face on the ground, and is cuffing you, but you've done nothing at all.
No, I mean, as far as they know, maybe I had done something. They had been called over by that firefighter, and I was stood up and put in the back of a police cruiser, being told, you know, you're being recorded back here. I didn't know what I was in the back of the cruiser for at this point yet, yeah. But it wasn't until later where I recognized another officer on the scene who I'd interviewed on a number of occasions, yeah. And he interviewed me. He went and found out what had happened. He came back and said, oh, they're saying you punched him.
The firefighter?
The firefighter.
What do you weigh, by the way?
About 150, 155.
Okay, firefighter, they tend to be pretty big.
Well, he may have been a paramedic. He was with the Toronto Fire Service. He wasn't in a firefighter uniform, but...
Did you hit him?
No.
I would be stunned, incredulous, if you had thrown a punch at anyone, John. And I believe you... What happened later?
Well, I mean, I'm in the back of the police car. I've been told I had been arrested for assault. I was brought to the 14 Division downtown Toronto, or in the West End, brought in to, I guess, staff superintendent, whoever it might have been, and the charge was read against me that I had been arrested earlier in the evening for assault and brought into the police station because I was intoxicated. I spent about half an hour in an interview room by myself, then a detective was brought in. She asked to see the pictures on my phone. I showed them to her. There was a discussion, and I was told I'd be held for public intoxication, released at 7 in the morning.
You weren't drunk? You've been drinking? You've been out with your girlfriend for dinner?
Yeah.
You weren't drunk? You probably wouldn't have driven a car.
No, God, no.
But you weren't driving a car. But nor were you wandering around, falling over, causing trouble.
No, it was definitely not. I had admitted to having, over the course of 4.5 to 5 hours, I had had up to 8 or 9 drinks.
Big deal. No, that's an excuse. Your girlfriend went to get you out the next morning. They told her you were released. You were still there?
They told her I had been released. It turned out someone they thought was me.
I see.
Had been released.
The phone didn't work at this point?
When I was released finally at 10 o'clock,
right.
My phone's dead, my keys are gone.
The keys were gone?
My keys were gone.
Nice.
I had 2 officers very kindly drive me back to my home. Mm-hmm. At that point, though, I didn't know my girlfriend was out looking for me.
Right. Why has it taken so long for this to become public?
We wanted to make sure it had gone through the court process.
They dropped the charges?
They dropped, I would never ended up being charged with assault, and they dropped the public intoxication charge.
Did the cops support the firefighter that you'd thrown a punch at him?
All I know is we ended up, as a result of challenging this, we got the notes from the arresting officer and the account that he took from the firefighter. That's all I have. Others were given. The others were.
I wish we had more time
readable.
Because you have to be and want to be more courteous than I will probably be. This happens far too often. They've chosen the wrong person. I hope you keep on with this. You've got to expose the people who did this. People like this should not be on the police. That man should not be in a uniform, and he's not alone. And we should bring you back, maybe even this week if you have the time. I'd love to chat to you again about this, and we have more time and find out what's happened maybe by the end of the week. Would that be okay?
Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen?
All right. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much.
No problem.